What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video, and in this video we will take a look at a Dutch striker who has been pretty prolific in the Dutch league. In the past 4 years he scored more than 70 goals, and he said that he has dreamt of playing for Liverpool since he was a child. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you as much information about this player as possible, and also we will take a look at what Jurgen Klopp said for the remainder of the transfer window. What kind of players will Liverpool sell? Also, Andrew Robertson is in line for a new contract, and what Roberto Firmino said about Liverpool's title hopes, Liverpool title dreams, and how happy he is at Liverpool. So there is a lot of information in this video. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you never miss a future upload. And this striker, he used to play for AZ Alkmaar, and he is actually a very prolific player. His name is Wout Weghorst, and he said in an interview for The Telegraph, he said, "I've dreamed of playing for Liverpool since childhood, and if I continue to train with full commitment, I think that opportunity will come." I haven't really watched him play, I will be honest, because I very rarely watch the Dutch league's highlights, but looking at his numbers, I was actually very impressed. In the last 2 seasons alone, he scored 45 goals in total for AZ Alkmaar in the Eredivisie. He scored 27 goals in just 37 games, and previously he scored 18 goals in 49 games in the previous season. And before that he was playing for Heracles Almelo, where he scored 24 goals in 2 seasons, and also he scored 13 and 8 goals in 2 seasons for FC Emmen in the 2nd division of Dutch football. So he is quite a late bloomer. He is 26 years old, but who knows, if he has a great success in his career, I can see him, you know, becoming a Liverpool striker, maybe a backup striker in 1 or 2 years. He just signed for Wolfsburg in a 10 million euro deal, and I think it's a pretty good bargain for a striker who scored 45 goals in the previous 2 seasons in the Dutch league. Those are really good numbers. And he also said, of course, something like that depends on several factors. You have to stay fit, and the coach and the club must see it in you, but apart from that, you can create many things in life for yourself. I really like his ambition, that he actually admits that he is a childhood Liverpool fan, and not many strikers come out with those kind of words even before, you know, having an interest, even before Liverpool having an interest in them. But if he has a successful season in the Bundesliga, I would be all for signing a striker who has been supporting Liverpool all his life, because that means that he would go the extra mile to do everything in his power to deliver goals for Liverpool. And honestly, those numbers, 45 goals in 2 seasons, those are numbers that any striker would really envy, and I'm really hoping that he scores maybe 15 to 20 goals in the Bundesliga, and then who knows, Jurgen Klopp might take notice and he might you know, have a chance of fulfilling his childhood dream. How many of you guys had the childhood dream of playing for your favorite club? And this guy can make it a reality, and I think that would be just a fairy tale story, a stuff of Hollywood movies maybe. So I'm really rooting for this guy. His name again is Wout Weghorst. Look out for him when you are watching the Bundesliga highlights. He will play for Wolfsburg, and you know, Divock Origi used to be there on loan. He didn't really light up the Bundesliga with his performances, but I think a guy who comes from the Eredivisie, scoring 27 goals in just 37 games for AZ Alkmaar, I think he can score about 20 goals for Wolfsburg if he gets the right support from the midfield. And Wolfsburg really desperately need a new striker after they almost got relegated. They had to play a relegation playoff against Kiel, where they survived in no small part to the help of Divock Origi. But I just thought that this was a striker that is worth talking about, considering that his numbers are really very impressive. But of course, Liverpool right now don't really need a striker because we have Daniel Sturridge, Divock Origi still on Liverpool books. But the latest news is that Ragnar Klavan, fan favorite Ragnar Klavan, he became somewhat of a cult hero just like Kolo Touré before him. He moved to Cagliari of Serie A for as little as £2 million, and this actually convinces me that Jurgen Klopp has full faith in Nat Phillips, the youngster, and this will provide Phillips with an opportunity to play in the first team. I think it's a very brave and bold decision because right now Lovren and Matip is out injured. Our only fit centre backs were, Van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Ragnar Klavan. And for Jurgen Klopp to sell Ragnar Klavan and to say that if anything goes wrong with our centre backs, I will count on Nat Phillips to play in a Liverpool team. I think it's a very brave decision, and Jurgen Klopp definitely wants young players to have a path towards the first team, and that would convince maybe other young players in the future to sign for Liverpool or to commit their future for Liverpool. For example, Ryan Brewster, he was hesitant at first to sign a big contract, his first professional contract in English football with Liverpool, but when he saw that Jurgen Klopp provides an opportunity for young players to play in the first team, he didn't want to move to any other club, and Ryan Brewster stayed with Liverpool, and maybe other young players will follow suit. So, speaking at his pre-match press conference, Jurgen Klopp told LiverpoolFC.com, first of all, how is the need for us? So can we give him the opportunity if he wants to leave? Can we do that or not? That's it. That's maybe a bit of a problem that the transfer window closed in England and the whole European world was waiting for that moment and starts now trying to dump prices or whatever to get good football players. That will not happen. We are not in a financial need situation where we have to do that. So that means that Jurgen Klopp won't sell players for a lot less than their market value. And Ragnar Klavan cost like 4 million, and he was a very good servant. He is not like a centre-back who would play week in, week out for a side that wants to challenge for the Premier League. But every time that he had to come in and play for Liverpool, he really contributed, and he was actually a very solid no-nonsense centre-back, which I really like this style of play. And of course he will be famous for that 94th minute winner against Burnley last season, where we came from, we scored, Burnley equalised in the 87th minute, and then Ragnar Klavan won the game with the last kick of the game with a header after Lovren headed it down to the far post, and he became a really big hero that day. And Jurgen Klopp also said, I really think we could give a few players the opportunity, but we have to see how many. There is no number in my mind at the moment, so Simon Mignolet could move on this summer to either Besiktas or maybe even Barcelona. Mignolet is also linked with Napoli, who needs a new goalkeeper after their former Liverpool goalkeeper Pepe Reina went to AC Milan from Napoli. Midfielder Marko Grujic, his loan collapsed to Cardiff City, so Grujic won't be going out on loan, but Torino are weighing up an offer for Marko Grujic, and I think Grujic needs to go out on loan because at the moment he's way down in the pecking order at Liverpool. He's nowhere near the first team, and at his young age he needs to play regularly. And also under 23 players Pedro Chiliveria and Matti Virtue are also set to leave before the end of the month. So Ragnar Klavan made 53 appearances and scored twice in his Liverpool career. He arrived, in July 2016, and I wish him all the best because Jurgen Klopp believes that Nat Phillips has big potential, and Liverpool's manager is keen to encourage him and develop him. Phillips is only 21 years old, so this is, as I said, a little bit of a gamble by Jurgen Klopp, but also it's a very brave decision and one that points for the future. And if you never give youth players a chance, they will never flourish. Look at Alexander-Arnold. He came through the youth ranks at Liverpool. He's a scouser. Jurgen Klopp was brave enough to put him in the first team, and he has shown tremendously. Last season was his breakthrough season. Joe Gomez has a similar story, but he was hampered by a big injury. But now it looks like that Joe Gomez finally will play in that centre-back role when he's fit and available. Maybe he's behind Lovren and Matip in the pecking order, but until they are injured, Joe Gomez also has a chance to make that centre-back role his role, and he can also develop while playing for Liverpool. It's also a very risky decision because Liverpool are going for the Premier League title this season, make no mistake about that, and we can't afford to drop too many points, so we can't really afford to put too many young players in the team. But I think putting Alexander-Arnold, who has already pretty good experience, and Joe Gomez in the team, that's fine. But if we had to play Joe Gomez and Nathan Phillips in the centre-back positions, that would leave me a little bit worried whether they are up for the task to maybe play against a big team. But against the bottom 10 sides in the Premier League, I think Phillips can do a good job. He looked a really assured player, maybe more mature than his years would suggest. As I said, he's 21 years old. But if you never give youth players a chance, they will never develop into great players. And if you send them out on loan, they will not train with the quality of players like Virgil van Dijk or Naby Keita or other huge talents at Liverpool. And every week when Phillips is training with the first team, he can learn, he can develop and show his skills. And if Jurgen Klopp thinks that he's ready, that should be good enough for us, because Jurgen Klopp is a great judger of a player. He has been around for a long time in football. And I really hope that Joe Gomez and Nathan Phillips could be our centre-back partnership for the next 10 years, potentially, if they develop at this rate. So I'm really optimistic about the future. And Roberto Firmino said some very nice words about Liverpool's title hopes and how he feels at Liverpool Football Club. So he said this: "I'm optimistic and I believe Liverpool are capable for fighting for the greatest success this season. I also think we have a better team than last season and that the new players will improve the performance of the team. Of course, we know we have to show it on the field, and we know that for our new players it is not easy to adapt quickly to a new team, but I always think positively. We have shown in the last campaign that our dreams can be fulfilled and that we can return to the path of winning titles. This year we must not fail, and that is the attitude of the players." This is where it gets very interesting. So Firmino said this: "Certainly my dream is to lift the Premier League trophy with Liverpool, and that's what we are trying to do. When people ask what my ambitions are for the rest of my career, I always say that I live in the present. I don't look at more than what we have in front of us in the next few days. I'm only interested in Liverpool and winning everything I can with them. We have the best supporters in the world here. They are amazing. And there are Liverpool fans in every part of the planet, so we know what it would mean to be champions." So Firmino's words really warms my heart. It looks like that he is really loving it at Liverpool. He embraces the culture, the fan support that he gets, and he's one of my favorite players. He is honestly the most hardworking striker that I've ever seen play for a big team, because he is constantly harassing the defenders when we don't have the ball, and he is a very important part in Liverpool's style of play. Firmino also said this: "Everyone hears stories about what it means to be a Liverpool player, but until you live it personally, you cannot really understand it. In my whole life, I never thought I would get treated like I do here. It's a huge responsibility, and we can only give everything back to the supporters that we can. The Premier League is our main challenge, but also Europe. After reaching the final against Real Madrid and falling down last season, that left us with a bad taste in our mouths, and we have to be patient and go game by game to achieve what we really want this time. So I think Firmino indicates here that Liverpool not only want to win the Premier League, they want to win the Champions League as well to make up for last season's Champions League final loss. And I think that's the hunger, that's the desire, that's the motivation, that's the ambition that Liverpool players need to have. Let's go game by game. Let's not look too far ahead, but let's try to go into every game trying to win it with the best style possible, scoring as many goals as possible, and just try to keep up with Manchester City and see where that takes us. I'm really looking forward to how the rest of the season unfolds. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video as well. Leave a like if you did. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.